Hey, guys, welcome back to the channel. This story is about, what if Naruto wanted to end it? I just want to say hope you enjoy the story. I will make a playlist for the video so you can easily access it. Also, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification, so you will be the first to know when I post a video. Now with that out the way, enjoy the video. Nathan Chapter 1. Restart. Naruto Uzumaki was standing in front of Iruka, his academy sensei. Naruto looked at Iruka, seeing him give a sad smile, then heard, "Naruto, you didn't pass." Naruto just nodded and then said, "Okay." Naruto didn't care at this point, as it was his second time failing and he might as well give up living. Naruto turned and started walking away when he heard, "Naruto." Naruto stopped and turned, giving a look to Iruka, telling him that Naruto doesn't care. Naruto saw Iruka walk up and heard, "What's wrong? You have been like this for weeks." Naruto shrugged then said, "I don't know." The 13-year-old blonde kid turned and started walking towards the exit when he heard, "Stop." Naruto turned, letting out the exhaustion he had, then heard, "Talk now." Naruto looked at Iruka, then just turned and headed out, shucking Iruka. Naruto walked out and headed to his favorite place for his final moment. Iruka looked at Naruto as he left completely and shook, as Naruto has never done stuff like that. Iruka just stood there in complete shock, so he shook his head and mumbled, "What am I going to do?" Iruka heard a groan, so he looked around. His eyes landed on Shikamaru Nara and he said, "I thought you left." Iruka saw Shikamaru nod, then saw him say, "Yeah, sorry." Iruka then saw Shikamaru walk down into the exit just to see him stop. Iruka looked at the lazy Nara when he heard, "I'm not his friend or anything, but Naruto isn't happy even if he shows it, and I've seen him dig in trash over the whole village for the past few days." Iruka's eyes widened at that as he saw Shikamaru walk out, so he shook his head and ran off toward the Hokage's office. Iruka entered the office of the Hokage, which made the old Hokage look up in confusion. Iruka looked at the Hokage and said, "Hokage-sama, sorry for entering like this, but I need to know where Naruto is now." Iruka saw the Hokage get confused and heard, "Why?" Iruka groaned and said, "Naruto has been acting weird and I've seen something like this before, so please, I need to know." Iruka saw the Hokage nod and pull out his crystal ball, then set it on the table and use it. Iruka saw the Hokage do some hand signs and the ball showed Naruto on top of the fourth Hokage stone head at the edge standing. Iruka's eyes widened and ran off. By the time the Hokage looked up, he was gone. Naruto was standing on the edge of the fourth stone head looking over the village just to mumble, "You win." Naruto moved one foot over the edge, about to fall forward when he was pulled back. Naruto had his eyes closed, but he opened them when his butt hit the ground. Naruto looked at Shikamaru, seeing him breathing heavily, and heard, "This place is far from the academy." Naruto glared at Shikamaru and yelled, "What the hell, Shikamaru?" Naruto stood up just to hear, "What the hell are you doing?" Naruto looked at Shikamaru and just said, "Why do you care?" Naruto shoved past Shikamaru and started walking back to the edge when he heard, "You're going to end it because you're the dead last of the academy." Naruto glared at Shikamaru with a lot of pain and anger that had built up and just yelled, "That is the least of my problems. You will be beaten half to death almost every month and be hated by the whole village. I have no money, no food, and starve a fucking a lot. I have no one and I'm tired of just trying to please and live in this fucking world. I'm burned, stabbed, and have to watch my back constantly. You have no idea what it's like and have no idea what you're talking about." Naruto had tears down his cheeks and his legs were shaking. At that point he just fell to his knees with all of his trauma coming out when he heard, "I didn't know." Naruto didn't say anything, he couldn't move, he just cried. Naruto was like this when he heard, "Do you want to be friends?" Naruto looked up at Shikamaru in shock but didn't say anything and continued to cry. Naruto saw Iruka land behind Shikamaru after a couple of minutes, but he still didn't do anything. Naruto just looked at Iruka, seeing him frown, and heard, "Naruto." Naruto shook his head, grabbed it as well and said, "No, no, no." Naruto just saw Iruka's feet, seeing him move, then heard, "Come on." Naruto looked up at Iruka, then he looked at Shikamaru, hearing, "I'm being serious." Naruto just got up and looked at Iruka and just said, "I'm sorry." Naruto just felt Iruka hug and heard, "This was your choice, but I didn't see the signs." Naruto just hugged Iruka, and after a few seconds he pulled back and said with a small smile, "I'll be your friend, lazy ass." Naruto saw Shikamaru chuckle and then heard, "Okay." Naruto saw Shikamaru turn and heard, "I need to head home, but tomorrow we will meet up and we could train or hang out." Naruto nodded, then he looked at Iruka, hearing, "Come on." Naruto started walking off when he heard, "Naruto." Naruto turned to Iruka and heard, "Why don't we go get some ramen and talk?" Naruto started rubbing the back of his neck and said, "I don't want them to know." Naruto saw Iruka nod and heard, "Then we will pick some up and head to my home." Naruto nodded and then he did that with Iruka. 1 hour later asterisk. Naruto entered Iruka's apartment and looked around, seeing a nice-sized apartment with a small-ish kitchen and living room. Iruka's bedroom was the same size as Naruto's. Naruto did notice it was a small place but he would rather live here than at this place. Naruto looked at Iruka as he set the stuff on a table so he walked to it, sat, and got his food. Naruto quickly finished his bowl as he hasn't eaten anything like this in a week. Naruto grabbed his second bowl to eat when he heard, Naruto. Naruto looked at Iruka seeing him have a sad smile then heard, I think you should talk to someone. Naruto shook his head and said no. Naruto saw Iruka give him a look of pleasure so he said, everyone hates me and I can't trust anyone besides you and I don't want to think about it. Naruto saw Iruka shake his head and heard, not everyone. Naruto saw Iruka sigh and then heard, I need to talk to her but have you ever heard of a girl named Anko Mitarashi? Naruto shook his head and then heard, well she never experienced what you have as what happened to her was after she became a ninja but she knows what it's like to be hated by the village. Naruto was shaking but it went down when he heard, just the names call and the eyes with some of her things similar to you but compared to you she came out easy. Naruto just nodded a little annoyed when he heard, I have to report what was going to happen to the Hokage and he will want you to speak to a professional but I will make him let you talk to Anko. Naruto nodded and said, okay. Naruto then got to start eating and finished his second and third bowls. Naruto sat back after finishing his food then he looked at Iruka and smiled then said, I'm going to head home. Naruto got up and started walking to the door when he heard, you promised to meet her. Naruto nodded, then he said, yay. Naruto then opened the door to see the Hokage. Naruto looked at the Hokage and said, Gigi. Naruto saw the old Hokage smile and heard, can we walk and talk? Naruto nodded and closed the door and started walking. Naruto looked at the Hokage as he walked onto the main street when he heard, I listened to you and Iruka and I think he's right. Naruto nodded nervously when he heard, I went to your home first to check up on it and it was attacked so you're going to stay at the tower tonight. Naruto looked at the Hokage and just nodded when he heard, then we will find you a new place. Naruto looked at the Hokage now in complete shock then heard, I also already have a place in mind. Naruto nodded, then smiled and continued walking with the Hokage. Later that night asterisk. Naruto was laying in the bed he was sleeping on in the Hokage tower when he groaned and turned. Naruto opened his eyes and raised his head. Naruto looked around, finding brick walls with pipes everywhere. Naruto stood up and found himself standing in water but he wasn't wet. Naruto just continued looking around when he heard a chuckle so he looked at a huge gate. Naruto saw a seal on the lock so he stepped closer to hear, my jailer has arrived. Naruto looked at the cage seeing torches light and a huge fox with 9 tails appeared. Naruto's eyes widened and he said, the fourth killed you. Naruto saw the Kyuubi chuckle but he noticed the little pain in the fox's eyes and then heard, I'm the most powerful demon in the world. Naruto nodded, then said, so that means I'm dead. Naruto saw Kyuubi shake his head and then heard, you are an idiot. Naruto glared at the Kyuubi just to hear him laugh, then after a couple of minutes he saw the Kyuubi call down and then heard, I didn't die, the fourth sealed me into you. Naruto stepped back and fell on his butt just to say, you're lying. Naruto saw Kyuubi groan and then heard, we are in your mind so you can change this and if you do then I'm telling the truth. Naruto closed his eyes and focused on trying this out and after a couple of minutes, he opened his eyes seeing the pipes go and the room cleaned up. Naruto looked around and shook. Then he looked at the fox and said, I believe you. Naruto saw the Kyuubi chuckle and then heard, not surprised a human didn't trust a demon. Naruto just groaned, then looked around and after a few minutes said, question. Naruto saw Kyuubi not opening its eyes and not answering so he said, what would you like this place to be? Naruto saw Kyuubi open one eye in shock and then heard, why do you care? Naruto looked around and then said, well first you're not what I expect so there's that also you didn't get a say to be put in me or not so I think you deserve to have this place look how you want. Naruto saw the Kyuubi chuckle and then heard, a field will do. Naruto nodded, then closed his eyes and after a couple of minutes he opened them to find a blue sky and a yellow sun with a huge green field. Naruto saw Kyuubi lying there so he said, anything else? Naruto saw Kyuubi shake his head so he nodded and was about to figure it out when he heard, you're not going to take my power or force me for you to use it. Naruto looked at the Kyuubi and heard, first if I wanted to use your power I would want your permission to use it and second it's not mine so I'm not strong as you are. Naruto saw the Kyuubi nod but he saw in the fox's eyes no one has ever done that or said that. Naruto looked around then at the Kyuubi and said, so your previous jailers took your power. Naruto saw Kyuubi nod and he smiled happily when Kyuubi told him the truth about that so he said, on the other hand do you know how to get out of here? Naruto heard the Kyuubi chuckle and then heard, check your stomach. Naruto saw Kyuubi close his eyes and let out a breath. Naruto opened his eyes and launched his top half up. Naruto groaned his neck in pain and after a couple of seconds, he looked around. Naruto then lifted his shirt remembering what the Kyuubi said to see nothing. Naruto groaned when he remembered that sometimes seals won't appear unless chakra travels through them. Naruto started charging his chakra into his stomach to see a seal appear, so he dropped his shirt and laid down, then said, "It wasn't a dream." Naruto shook his head and would worry about it tomorrow and fell back asleep. Next morning asterisk. Naruto groaned sitting up from the bed, then looked at the clock seeing it to be 7 in the morning. Naruto looked at his door seeing Hiruzen enter, so he said, "Gigi." Naruto saw the Hokage smile and then saw him about to speak, but he said, "Can I ask you something?" Naruto saw the Hokage nod, so he said, "Do I hold the Kyuubi?" Naruto saw Hiruzen in shock and then heard, "Why do you think that?" Naruto shrugged then said, "Well, I thought I had a dream about meeting him and before I woke up he told me to check my stomach where I found a seal." Naruto saw Hiruzen sit down next to him and so he looked at him. Naruto saw Hiruzen look down at him and heard, "Yes, and I'm sorry for not telling you that, and I should have told you that the fox has caused all your problems." Naruto just nodded when he felt a little fear, but he knew it wasn't from him and he already made up his mind. Naruto looked at Hiruzen and said, "The fox did nothing to me." Naruto saw Hiruzen shaking, so he said, "He was the one who put me into nothing, and if it's true then I've talked to the fox and it's not his fault, it's the fourth's." Naruto saw Hiruzen nod and then heard, "Naruto, you need to understand." Naruto shook his head and said, "No, the fourth caused all my problems, not the fox, and I don't want to hear you say that ever again." Naruto saw Hiruzen nod and heard, "Okay, Naruto." Naruto smiled a little, then he said, "Also, Gigi, I am asking you for me, please don't call the fox a monster in front of me, as you never meet the fox. He's big and scary, but he's not just a monster." Naruto saw Hiruzen nod and heard, "Okay." Naruto smiled and nodded, then heard, "What do you want to talk about?" Naruto heard Hiruzen chuckle, then heard, "Tomorrow, but today you go have fun and in a couple of days I will take you to your new home." Naruto nodded and got up, then said, "Breakfast." Well, this is the end of chapter 1. Hope you guys enjoyed the fanfic. I will leave the link to the fanfiction in the description. So see you guys in the next video. Until next time.